What's up, YouTube fans? Today we're going to be reviewing the Unique Toys Stellar Warrior Ghaz'ranka, or their version of Swindle. So I wasn't planning to get these guys. I saw a couple reviews and it looked really good, but I just wasn't so sure about Unique Toys, to be honest. And Unique Toys and DX9 are actually similar company, or they co-produce together or co-design together, I guess. And I have a couple DX9 figures, and I thought, well, maybe this is going to be good. So I don't know. But after getting it, man, this thing's awesome. So here's the box. It's really kind of a weird box. It's not really in keeping with the G1 aesthetic for boxes, but also kind of a cheap box. I mean, it's okay. It's alright, I guess. Here's the back. You got some product shots. It looks really good in both robot mode and vehicle mode. That's why I got it. Here you have image of robot mode, another robot mode picture, and then you've got a window box on the front. Now, I got these from China, and I have all of their Ragnarok series, or their Bruticus Combiner. I have all of those, and I'm going to review them all. But one thing I noticed on YouTube is a lot of reviewers aren't reviewing the combined set. They're only reviewing the set individually, individual bots. So I am going to be doing a full combined version, obviously without the arms, because they haven't produced the arms yet. But I think that's what people need to know is this thing good in combined mode? Is it worth buying? Is it good quality? Is it going to be stable in combined mode? So we're going to get to all of that. But that's really it for the box, so we'll get this guy open and take a look. Now, I did get some damage on a couple of the packages that I got, so I'll show that to you when I review the other figures here. This one was fine. I didn't have any issues. It comes in a little clamshell box, which is pretty cool. So you get the foot, you get the gun with the missile, and you get the figure. Let's just get all this out of the way. And here you have the figure. It looks awesome in person. One really cool thing that they did here, and I know it's maybe part of the figure itself, but it's got these rubberized feet, and I think it's part of the seat, where it's kind of the material, but it really helps with posing because it kind of is very stable. It doesn't slide at all. It's really good. Then you got the gun here, and you got a whole bunch of stuff in here. So you got, I think, pads for the feet. I think it's for this to make it more secure. Let's open this. By the way, this is a really nice card here. Very, very nicely done. Nothing on the back, just says Unique Toys. The front just says Ghaz'ranka. But it's a cool animation. I like that they went with that. It looks like you get is this instructions? Pretty simple instructions here. Just a one-pager. So I'm guessing it's pretty easy. We'll see. And then you get the felt pads. Looks like you get 2 sets of felt pads. I am definitely going to put these on because I think that's a great idea to make it a little more stable than the plastic. But all in all, a well accessoried figure here. Now this foot looks really cool. Actually, I wish this was ratcheted. It's pretty tight, but I think it could have benefited from a ratchet. But I think everything's going to be fine in combined mode. We'll take a look when we get there. It does have a little bit of tilt here, so we'll go over that when we get to the combined mode review. But here's a figure, and it really looks awesome in person. I don't know how to kind of describe the difference on camera versus in person. And it comes packaged like this, so you just want to kind of fold this up like that. By the way, this wheel turns too. It doesn't detach. It just sits there, and it's cool that they did a full size wheel. It's like exactly the same as these, just mounted to the back. Does it come off? I don't think it comes off. Oh, it does come off. There you go. So you can actually take the wheel off, which is pretty neat. You know, it's a well thought out design already. I can tell. Now looking at this guy, I love the way it looks. I think they did a really good job capturing that G1 aesthetic. You do have the cannon here. Let's see, how does this fit in? Looks like there's a tab in the front of the arm here. So where it goes, yeah. So you can kind of have it on the front. I think you can also take it apart. We'll take a look at the instructions and see all the options here. But you can have it kind of mounted like that, and I think that looks really good. But let's first take a look at this figure here. And the detail on here is really, really, really well done. They got little highlights and accents here and there. You've got the matte, kind of gunmetal gray here with a little silver accents in the thighs and on the back of the thighs. I appreciate stuff like that. Right back here too. You've got the gunmetal gray on the inside of the hubcaps. Some black accents here. So really well done with the paint. Same on the face. You got some flat silver and flat black paint, and then you got light piped purple eyes, which is of course is appropriate for a Decepticon to have purple eyes. A lot of people don't like the light piped eyes. I think I would have preferred a metallic eyes there, but I think it's okay. Now let's get another figure just for comparison here. Now I just realized I don't even have a lot of Masterpiece Decepticon cars, so this will be interesting. But so here he is with Megatron. Let's just put Megatron up a little bit. So pretty good size next to Megatron. I think he looks good there. Here he is with Masterpiece Exhaust, which is a car. Obviously gigantic next to this guy. I don't know. This scale doesn't seem right, to be honest. The wheels just look gigantic. I think in terms of robot scale, it seems right, but in terms of vehicle scale, I think this is going to be a little too big to be, in scale with other Masterpiece vehicles, to be honest. But next to Megatron, and he looks pretty good. Now let's take a look at Starscream. He is with Starscream. And I'm not going to take him off the stand because he's annoying. But obviously Starscream's a little bit taller. I've got his legs bent here, but it looks about right, size-wise. The robot looks like it's the right size. Now, when you compare him to this little guy, he does seem like his tires are gigantic. They're like as big as Masterpiece MB10, Masterpiece Optimus Prime. And I don't think a Jeep's wheels are as big as a semi-trailer, but what are you gonna do? You can't get everything right? Somewhere you got to give to get the scale correct. So let's get these guys out of here for a second. And by the way, this thing just a beautiful masterpiece. And let's take a look at this guy a little bit up close. Now, the head sculpt really, really looks good. Let's actually take a look at the this guy with his original G1 counterpart up in the top left there. I think they did a really good job trying to capture that G1 aesthetic. It obviously has some details to make it a little bit more realistic in vehicle mode, but I think in terms of coloring and size and proportion, they really did a good job with the G1 aesthetic. Now, taking a look a little bit up close here, you have a very nice head sculpt. That to me is perfectly done. You do have like soft ratchet on the arms here. Let's go over articulations. The head is on a swivel. So you get all the motion, you get up, you get down, plenty of down, and then turns all the way around. So it's not a ball joint, but it's the perfect kind of joint for a masterpiece. You get the shoulder goes all the way up to there, rotates all the way around. You do have plenty of articulation there on the shoulder. You get a swivel at the elbow. You get past 90 degrees on the bend. You get a wrist swivel and individually articulated pointer finger, and then the other three are together, which that's what I would expect for a masterpiece, so that works for me. Same on the other side. You do have a waist swivel, which is pretty darn good. Does not hinder it in any way. You have articulated, now let's see. You have articulated legs. I'm trying to see, is this, yeah, this folds up out of the way. So you can get the leg all the way up to there and all the way back to there on a nice ratchet joint. It's on a soft ratchet to the out, but you get all the way out. So plenty of articulation. I do like that they put this in there. They didn't have to do that. They could have just said, nope, too bad, but they didn't. The feel of this is like almost like a rubbery matte plastic. I don't know, it's interesting. I like it a lot. I love the paint on these thighs. They did a good job with that. You do get a nice ratcheted knee there. I'm not sure why they use such a strong ratchet, but that's fine with me. Perfect 90-degree bend there. You get a rotation at the knee. You do get a nice ankle tilt, pretty much all the way. You don't need any more than that. You do get a toe tilt down, which doesn't really do anything. I think that's for transformation, but you get pretty much everything you need. Toe, ankle tilt, and rocker, sort of. So you got what, pretty much everything you need here to get this guy into a very dynamic pose. And I'm loving this thing. I think this is really, really well done. Now, let's take a look at the weapons. So you do have a couple options with the weapons. Now you have this here, and I believe he can hold this in his hand. Oops. So you can kind of hold the gun separately, and it fits okay in there. It's not super tight. Let's see, this one also can be held. Oops. You got to kind of open up the hand a little bit to get it in there in the first place, but there you go. So that fits in nice and tight. That's perfect. You see this is getting in the way, but there you go. And let's take a quick look. Let's back out here. Let's take a quick look at the instructions to make sure you didn't miss anything on the weapons, because I believe you can mount the weapons multiple ways. I don't see another means of putting this on, so I think you can either have it like this. I think the G1 cartoon was like that, where now it does get kind of blocked because it's got these fins on the missile that sort of block it from going into the hand properly. That's kind of a bummer. Kind of wants to go downwards like that. I wonder if you can mount this anywhere else. I don't see a really obvious spot to put this, like on the shoulders or anything like that. So I think it just goes in the hand, or it can go on the side of this thing, or on the top of this thing. It's kind of like a sight. I wonder if you can, let's see if you can hold this with both hands. Yeah, you can. Oh man, that looks awesome. Wow. Okay, so I'm starting to fall in love with this thing. it just looks really cool as a rifle. Yeah, I really like that. So you kind of have a lot of options here with this gun. You know, the other one is you can have it just mounted straight onto the arm, like that. And they all look good. I think they did a good job with this weaponry. Now I think G1 accurate would be two separate things, but I really like this, the idea of having this big rifle. You kind of want to get it into the back of the hand, otherwise it kind of slides out. Let's see if I did that for this one, would it fit a little better? Maybe, probably. Oh yeah. So I had that screwed up, guys. My bad. This fits perfectly. There's no problem here. I just didn't have it really into the back of the hand. Once you do that, it fits just fine. There you go. So really well done with the weapons. I do find the legs are a little unstable, so you kind of have to open this up. Let's see. This doesn't really lend itself to bending. I'm kind of worried about trying to bend it, but yeah, I see stress marks, so I don't know. I don't know if this is meant to bend this way. Now I see a pin in there. There's a pin right there. I'm not even sure what that's for. It's for transformation, but yeah, there's something kooky going on here. It's really hard to bend this, so maybe I wasn't supposed to before. Well, before we break that, you know, I'll stop messing with it. So the last thing I'm going to do is break this figure. There you go. So you can get some great poses even without moving that out of the way, but I believe this is supposed to bend out of the way, so you can pose them. That's really it for robot mode. This guy is pretty darn good. I really like him. I think he's got a great head sculpt there. You know, some nice detail on the chest, on the legs. This is the kind of detail I would want on a masterpiece, this sort of level. I found out after I started transforming that this thing does move out of the way. You basically you pull it out and lift it up, and then you can get the legs all the way up. So you don't need to bend it. I almost, you know, caused stress on that for no reason. So if you are trying to get the legs past there, just lift it forward. That's already a little bit, and then you can push it up, and then you get even more. So that kind of allows you to move it without breaking up the sculpt, and it looks good. So now we'll get this guy transformed into robot mode, and we'll be right back. Alright guys, we're back from transforming. I didn't even use the instructions for this. Honestly, instructions suck. They have it going from vehicle to robot mode, and it came in robot mode and you had to take it to vehicle. And it wasn't really easy to follow backwards here, but the good news is it's a very intuitive transformation, so you can kind of just figure it out. But instructions are not great. They don't even go into like the details and the accessories and stuff, like how to attach these guns and stuff. That's not in there at all. By the way, I forgot one thing. In robot mode, you can take this piece, which is plugged in the back of the gun like that, and pull that off, and then plug it into this thing, and then this becomes its own little gun. So you could use this too if you wanted to as a separate gun. And then this can be mounted onto his arm. So you have all sorts of options there in terms of you know, how you want to display him. But for vehicle mode, you want to use this as a stand. And then you kind of plug these two things into the side of it, like that. You want to angle them up a little bit, and then you can kind of stick it in here, and there it goes. And you can have it really at any angle you want. And I thought that was very ingenious the way they designed that. You know, it really was a well thought out kind of thing. It looks really good in vehicle mode, so let's just kind of quickly go over. I do have these, I think what's a gas tank, but there's looks like a hole on each side. Nice painted headlights and grill, the classic Jeep grill. You do have blinkers over here. You have little details on the hood here. You've got little details on the windshield. I don't see any wipers, but whatever. Not a big deal. It does have a steering wheel, which they didn't even need to include, but it basically folds into place like that, which it's interesting, but they didn't need that. That wasn't necessary to make this kind of finished product. The seats are pretty cool. They feel like leather. It's kind of interesting. It's the bottom of the feet, but they feel like leather, and it's really cool. It's a cool effect, you know. All in all, really. Oh, by the way, nice rubber tires here on all four. The bottom was very, very clean. It looks like the bottom of a Jeep, pretty much. I mean, obviously you got the front of the grill, faux grill here, but it looks. Oops. It looks pretty good. I think I had this plugged in there. There we go. So all in all, a very, very, very good looking Jeep. Now here's my issue with this. So here is exhaust, same figure in vehicle mode. Obviously, way, way out of scale with this guy. I don't think a Jeep is that much bigger. Now, just for another comparison, here he is with the fire truck grapple. And again, you know, way too big. The wheels are really big, but then the vehicle itself is just gigantic. So, does not scale well in vehicle mode, but honestly, it looks so good, I don't really even care. It's a good looking vehicle. And it's got some nice weight to it, nice heft. It really feels like a quality product. You know, there was some bending and putting panels into place, and I never felt like I was going to break anything, even though I wasn't following the instructions. I was doing it all by, basically by intuition, and never felt like it was going to break. That's the sign of a good transformer. When you can figure it out, you can guess and get it transformed. It rolls really well. Really love this guy in vehicle mode. You also get this thing, the foot, I believe, can be used as a turret kind of thing. I don't know. I don't know if anyone would do that, but you can do it if you want to. I think this looks great, though. You don't even need this. We'll save this for combined mode. So I'm not going to go into the combined mode on this review. I'm going to do that as a separate piece in my combined mode review once I get to the Calicos, however you say it, their version of Onslaught. When I get to that one, I'll take a look at this foot, or actually both feet. But in terms of looks, it's a really good looking foot for combined mode. Nicely painted, nicely detailed. Seems like high quality. Definitely would put these stickers on here to give it some stability. But all in all, I think they did a great job with this figure. So that's it, guys. I think I'm going to have to put a Decepticon logo here. That's really it for this review. Stay tuned for the next review. Is going to be the Unique Toys Archimond, or their tank figure, their version of Brawl. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.